All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Opportunity Zone. I've got Mr. Chris Lavin here.
And we got Nate Armstrong. And we're having that technical glitch because I didn't fix it after last week's show.
Hey guys, lots to cover this week. Starting with the top 10 markets, we've got a little bit of divergence between brokerage houses on which one's going to be number one. We're gonna release Globe Street's findings as well. The billionaire tax just got another billionaire to leave California.
Imagine that.
And guess where they came?
Yippee-ki-yay.
We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the brand new bill that just passed the House. Bipartisan support. This could move a little bit. Chris doesn't seem to think so.
Nope.
I think it could help speed things up. But,
I disagree.
and then the CPI index, what they're saying about rent and what the actual multifamily investors are saying. All that and more on today's show. Chris, we're going to do a quick little Bible verse, and then we're going to ask Chris to give the blessing, and then we'll jump in. So first off, I want you to picture this young man named Joseph. He's arrested into slavery. His brothers cast him out, and he's thrown into slavery. He should not have been. But he gets this chance to get in front of Pharaoh, essentially the king of Egypt. And while he's there in front of Pharaoh, he's interpreting Pharaoh's dreams. And I want to point out something. This is Genesis 41:33. After he interprets the dreams, after he paints this wonderful vision of what those dreams could mean, Joseph looks at Pharaoh and says, "Pharaoh, therefore you should find an intelligent and wise man and put him in charge of all of Egypt. Then you should appoint supervisors over the land and collect 1/5 of all the crops during the good years." What this means is that when Joseph interpreted the dream for Pharaoh, he told him what his dream meant word for word. Not only did he give the dream, but he also said, "Hey, this is what I think you should do." And I point that out because a lot of people in life, they say like, "Hey, I don't get the chances. I don't get the opportunities," but they're not always prepared. They're not always giving the next steps. And so when you get a chance to talk to Pharaoh, the king, whoever that might be in life, it's not going to be the king of Egypt naturally, but when you get that chance, make sure you come prepared. Make sure you come with the next steps. Chris, would you mind giving us a blessing?
Love to. Heavenly Father, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for what you are in my life. Thank you for the blessings that I have on a daily basis. Thank you for allowing me to have comfort and peace and faith that the path that you've set down before me is right. Please bless the conversations that we have today so that we can instill some of our wisdom and some of our experience to the people that are listening so that they can go out and have fruitful lives and build generational wealth so that they're free from the worry of money. I ask all of this in your son's name. Amen.
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 All right. First up, we have a bipartisan supported bill that essentially they're saying that it's a target to help remove the affordability crisis with housing in this country. And at the crux of it, for at least what we're concerned about, is that they're trying to make the permitting process easier to build new houses. They want to get the supply up.
Wah, 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 wah. Listen, this is great. There's no way I shouldn't start talking such absolutes. In my opinion, in my experience, this can't work. Let me explain to you why. How can you have one set of plans for a house in New Hampshire that will work in Florida? How can you have a house in Florida work in New Hampshire? It doesn't work. We have to build for wind loads in Florida. You have to build for snow loads in New Hampshire. It doesn't work. I'm an experienced builder. I have gone into communities, into municipalities, and have put one set of prints in to get them they call it surface stamp back then. I don't know what they call it now. Okay, get surface stamp so that this plan can just go right through zoning. You can take this plan, you can mirror it, you can rotate it, move the garage from one side to the other. As long as you do all this, within a certain amount of stuff, it's instantly permitted. But again, this is the government interfering where it shouldn't, and quite frankly, I mean, just think about it. How do you build a house in New Hampshire where they get 73 feet of snow with a house that's designed for Florida when it's designed to hold the window? You would have to over-engineer it and everything, and guess what happens? You now have to build for both conditions. You know what that means? you pay more. You're going to build concrete houses or cement block houses up in New Hampshire, where you need them down here and don't need them up. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're going to double the cost of the house to meet both cases.
Yeah, you're accurate. I think they're going to need at least 4 sets. So what the goal for all of this was, at least this is the politicians' talk, is that right now you've got this big long delay in getting stuff approved. Look at the Palisade fires. That was what, 2 years ago, year and a half ago? They burned to the ground, and they literally, out of thousands of houses that have up, they've only approved something like 2 permits so far. And you've got a federal bureau that has to approve. You've got the local bureau. It's just a mess. And so what this bill is... 2. I was told 2. Yeah. There's only a couple of them that have started.
Wait, did the building that his approvals are being done burn down too?
Well, it's funny because they're trying to get rezoning classification. Some multifamily developers are trying to build multifamily and low-income housing in that area. And Trump just came out yesterday and said, I will not approve that. There's no way. We're not going to approve the financing. Anyways, very few of them have been able to rebuild. Very, very few right now.
You're talking about single-family residences?
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Must be big houses. It is California.
Thousands were burnt down and very few have gotten permission to start rebuilding.
That doesn't make any sense.
So in this country right now, what the bill is aiming to do is to try to have a standardized blueprint that they can just take and run. They're actually, the nickname right now is called Trump houses. I don't know if it'll fly or not fly.
So let me offer an alternative solution, because I'm about solutions. Put in the law that the municipalities only have 30 days to approve a set of permits.
Yeah, I dig that. Yeah.
That would, and then the municipalities would have to staff up to do that, right? But they collect their fees that they charge for approving or issuing permits. So the permit fees would probably go up.
I want to one up that, Chris.
Go ahead.
I think that we should take the DMV and the housing approval boards and all these and privatize them. Let's pump stuff through.
Let's do it.
Let's get it done.
Let's do it.
Okay, next up, Chris and I broke the news on this unrealized capital gains tax that they're trying to pass in California. It's looking probable at this point, and they're not only going to, when Chris and I first reported this, they're not only going to make it once the law is enacted, but they're going to go back a year. And so what's happening right now is that billionaires are moving, and another notable billionaire just bought a property in Miami.
Who's that?
Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook CEO.
Yeah, but look, he bought a little shanty for $150 million.
A little $150 million shanty.
Little guy.
Yeah. So California, you just gave yourself the kiss of death. I'm so sorry to all of our friends and clients in California, but this is why we don't do it.
Well, dude, that's just bad. Like you drive these guys out, they're paying taxes. Like at the state level, you have to pay taxes, right? Even if it's property taxes. Now they're moving their properties elsewhere, but I guess the properties stay. Somebody buys them, right? Man, this is a bad move. Like California politics really did not do well on this one.
I did a little digging too, and when Citadel came down from New York to Florida, not only did the CEO come down, but all of the chief executives came down and a ton of the staff came down too. So, I mean, if you start getting Facebook to move to Miami, like you're disrupting California.
No, they're moving to West Palm Beach. Because it's a helicopter ride from Miami.
Yeah.
And they put a helipad on top of that building. I'll bet you Zuckerberg's going to move into West Palm Beach for business. We're trying to make it the tech triangle anyway.
It very well could happen. This is all the Gold Coast of Florida. All right. Next up, we have top 10 markets. Now, last week we put up a different measure from one of the major brokerages. This one's from Globe Street, and there's a couple of differences in here, and I just want to point out 2 or 3 of them and get your take on this, Chris. They're concurring that Dallas-Fort Worth has legs under it. One of the top, they're saying the top 12. I said 10, but top 12.
I bet you that was legitimate, and I'm just making that comment. You'll understand in a few minutes. Go ahead.
San Francisco Bay Area, Los Angeles, New York.
All right. So first one's legitimate, right? Because there's not a lot of political influence. The other 3 are people are running, and there's fire sales going on. They're trying to get their money while they can, right? We already know about what's going on in California. New York has got these crazy politics going on there. And obviously it's really affecting the transaction price. And when the transaction price goes down, transaction volume tends to go up, right? Dallas, I'm going to say, and this is just supposition, I'm going to say it's probably the only area that the prices are either going up or stable, but the transactions are increases because we all know that Dallas in the multifamily space has been a very hot area for a long time. It cooled off for a minute, but it's swinging back. And you know why it's swinging back?
Why?
The big beautiful bill, baby.
Yep. So what Chris is talking about is there's something in there, if we use Trump and his two favorite words, bonus depreciation. It's this thing that literally when you invest into multifamily, you get to pay, potentially reduce what you'd pay the IRS. That's got to be structured the right way, but it's a hidden little gift inside of
Right,
multi.
it's part of the rules. It's the IRS rules. Just follow them, and you can actually not pay taxes.
So a couple other interesting ones on here: Washington D.C., Phoenix, Arizona, and then they're saying that on the opposite end of the spectrum, that Atlanta slowed down a bit, and then Chicago surprised people. It was more upbeat. And
You know
then
why Atlanta slowed down?
why?
Values. Interesting, crazy fact. The pricing on Atlanta has gone up. So again, prices come down, transactions go up. Prices go up, transactions come down. So that's what's going on in Atlanta, based on my research on a project that we're currently working on. That I can't talk about because it's top secret. But if you ask me at the end of the show, I might.
Well, what we can do is, can I tell them about the wait list?
Yeah, go ahead. You got to get on the wait list.
So if you're an accredited investor and you're looking for a deal, like we've got a killer deal. It's not going to go out to the general public and all that kind of stuff.
Have to.
So what you do is you join our wait list. It's homeinvest.com/waitlist, or you can just write a comment, waitlist in the comments, and our team will send you a message and we'll get it over to you. But
yeah, the last deal that we did and put on the wait list never went public as a result of the circumstances around that deal. And this one is warming up to be the same exact way.
Cool. Let's move on. We've got Mr. Scott Turner, Secretary of HUD.
What is my dude doing?
He's coming out and he's saying, hey, we implemented some technology into the mortgage side to root out some of the illegal traffic that was taking out mortgages in this country. And he's saying, hey, guess what? First time in 4 years, we're more affordable again. I'll say it that way. We were super, super inflated on mortgage costs for the last 4 years, and now they're coming down. They're down. They're saying the average monthly payment fell to $2,091, which is about $164 lower than just last year per month. And the new technology is what he's saying is a big driver in it.
This is my dude. So I'm going to talk out the side of my head. Like, I love this guy because of his straightforward approach, his no nonsense about, listen, get up off the couch, go get a job. That's his mentality. And I'm going to have to call malarkey on this one. Think about it. What has happened over the past, 6 months? Rates have pulled back, right? Rates have pulled back, driving the cost of the mortgage, the cost of money down. I think that has a huge effect. I can't see that the technology that they implement, and what he's talking about is that now if you're a legal immigrant, you're less likely to be able to slide under the wire and get a mortgage because they're rooting that stuff out. That's what he's talking about. I don't see how that yet has an impact on costs of money. Like, how would that have an impact? It's just not there. The math doesn't work for me. I may be missing something, and if you know something I don't know, please do me a favor and put down in the comments, Chris, you're missing this, and tell me what I'm missing, because there's no correlation for me. There's no correlation. There's not enough volume. No correlation.
I wish he could release the actual data. Like, we caught this many illegal people trying to apply. Like
7. They caught 7.
And it dropped the whole market. It's coming down.
That's a little bit of political poly speaking. Again, prove me wrong. Somebody tell me what I'm doing, what I'm missing. Put missing in there. You're missing this, Chris, in the comments.
All right. Next up, we're going to let Mr. Trump say a couple of words about what's about to happen.
To support this exciting renewal this morning, I'm pleased to announce that on May 17th, 2026, that we're inviting Americans from all across the country to come together on our national mall to pray, to give thanks, and we are going to do something that everyone said, like, that's tough. We're going to rededicate America as one nation under God. A lot of people...
You can see that he wanted to keep talking, but the audience just broke out into applause. We're going to rededicate this country to one nation under God.
Amen. Listen, this is what the Founding Fathers did. One nation under God. When that was good enough for us. It's what got us to be. It was the vehicle that got us to be where we are today as a country. And then all of a sudden, it doesn't work anymore. Like I don't understand that. I don't understand it. I don't believe in pushing a religion on anybody. Like right, but I do believe in pushing. Pushing is not the right word. That representing that we fall under power greater than ourselves, or a higher power, or God, and that we look to God for wisdom as we guide this country. I wish they'd bring prayer back in school. Non-denominational prayer. Listen, like I'm not trying to. Maybe you're Jewish, maybe you're Christian, maybe you're Muslim. It's not my business. What my business is saying that there is a God. I believe He's responsible for who we are, and I believe we've forgotten where we came from.
Yeah, absolutely. Our founding fathers would probably churn in their graves if they understood what was happening right now in this country. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and prayer in schools is actually happening for some religions, but
not ours.
The Christian religion is
all of a sudden it's a terrible thing to be a white male Christian in this country. I haven't figured that out yet, but okay. I'm being surely discriminated against as a white male. I'm empowered for being white.
Where I'm originally
That's discrimination.
It is. Where I'm originally from, Minnesota, they blast.
There's only white
people there. well, now they blast on the loudspeakers in downtown Minneapolis Muslim prayer times whenever there's prayer time. And one of our brokers, Christopher, he was literally going through a car wash, and he said that somebody was in the car wash line in front of him, and they literally got out their mat when he was in line at the car wash, and they put it down on the ground and blocked the whole line of cars waiting for a car wash to do prayer. And Christopher said, well, what am I going to do? I'm stuck. So, but that's happening in Minneapolis right now. So I'm really glad that Trump has taken the stance, one nation under God, like let's get prayer back 100%.
I'm all about it.
All right. Next up, we are getting reports, at least Globes.
I'm calling malarkey.
You're calling malarkey on this. CPI, Consumer Price Index, they're saying that rents are up, yet most multifamily owners do not actually believe it. Chris, what's going on with it? What does this mean first? What does it mean?
What does it mean? All right, listen. We're multifamily operators. Just in case you're new to the show, we operate lots of multifamily. Now, the impression is going to be that if you take a 1-year consensus, there's a pullback. I agree. Past 3 years, I disagree. Rent surged, and we pulled back a little bit because I used to take all of the illegals out of the country and nobody's renting apartments anymore. I was being facetious, but that's what some people are saying. So there's a little bit of pullback, but the net over the past 3 years or even the past 2 years is that we've had an increase. You look at some of our apartments. Okay, so I'm going to wait for the next slide before I go off on that whole tangent. But I'm here to tell you, rents are increasing, and they're increasing at least as fast as inflation, if not more. We try to push our rents almost 5% a year at our lease renewals on our properties, and it's because we're investing in these properties. So I say that somebody's not paying attention to their 3-year financials. They're only looking at 1-year financials.
So that would correlate with what the CPI is saying, the Consumer Price Index. They're saying it's up at least 3.3% over the last 2 years. That's their claim.
Yeah, and I believe it. I 100% believe it. And if I don't believe it, I can look at our numbers and prove it.
Well, I want to get your take on this, Chris, because
you really are. I'm gonna scare people.
We just got done with one of the biggest conferences in the multifamily industry, Multifamily National Housing Council. Just got done. Everybody was collaborating. A lot of folks submitted their thoughts and comments on this. But investors, multifamily investors are saying that capital is more abundant now. Deals are more abundant, and they say that this is the year. This is go time. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is this is absolutely correct. And it's also my thoughts, and I'm going to say this. It's a terrible time to be a multifamily. Yep, it's true. Terrible time to be multifamily. Let me explain to you why. Because of our president and you're not our president, but you do such a great imitation. I thought
bonus depreciation.
Because of that, people are actually buying properties at a loss. Right? They are literally going into a property saying, okay, over the next 3 years, I'm going to lose $3 million. But as a result of my investment of, let's say, $30 million, right? On the $100 million property, they put in $30 million. I'm going to actually get bonus depreciation of $60 million or $70 million on that property. And that's going to offset that loss because I'm not paying taxes on it. So it's a very complicated mathematical formula. So deals are getting thin. The margins are getting thin again, right? Cap rates going down, and we're just dying. I'm sorry, cap rates going up. So the prices are being driven up on these properties because people are solely after them for depreciation or and bonus depreciation. You have to be a great operator and you have to be diligent. Like we look at 150 deals before we even put an LOI in on one. We're very diligent. We're very persistent. We do when we go in and actually do our due diligence on the property, even after the fact, we comb through everything, looking for fraud and everything else that's going on. Because if you don't buy the right deal, you're gonna get hurt in today's market. You just absolutely are, because the prices are going up and the cost of money is coming down a little bit. So it's dangerous time to be in multifamily. But once you hit that right transaction, like we've got 2 transactions that we're killing it on right now, but we got one deal that's coming up that's never going to go public because we're buying it at a 30% discount, right? Get those kind of deals, we operate them correctly, put them back the way they were, and we will absolutely turn a profit for our investors and have a positive impact on the community.
Well, speaking of that, let's talk about one more time on the wait list, Chris, like
Yes.
what this is, how people can get it.
We have a property that is so amazing. We are predicting that, and again, these are not hard facts, and I can't, go by the FTC guidelines and all that stuff. We are predicting that if you invest $1 million, you can get $1 million worth of bonus depreciation. So that means every dollar that you put in at the $1 million level, you'll actually be able to write off your gross income if you structure this transaction correctly. So if you're making $5 million a year, put $1 million into this deal, now all of a sudden you're making $4 million a year. That at a 40% tax bracket is $400,000 in savings. Plus, you'll be on an asset that will be generating cash flow and have a profit for you on the other end.
So we're gonna,
And I'm sorry, one more thing. Very likely that this is not going to go public. We've got such a small raise on it. It's probably not going to go public. Last time we did a raise with numbers this hot, we raised $12 million in 12 days. So jump on board.
just to recap on this, when Chris is saying invest $1 million, you could get up to $1 million in potential tax benefits for you. It's called bonus depreciation. And if you don't know what that is, if you're confused, then literally join the wait list. Let our team know that. We will hook you up with the right CPA. We can talk to your CPA. We can guide you through that conversation. It's got to be structured the right way, but there are beautiful, beautiful tax benefits inside of investing in multifamily.
Did I mention that this is again a 25% IRR?
Up to a 25% IRR.
Yeah, but we're capping it at 25. That's how much we think this is going to happen.
Yeah.
We can't listen. We don't have crystal balls. We can't tell you these are facts. We can only tell you based on our experiences. This is what potentially could happen. That's what I got to say for the FTC. But we're maxing it out. We're not going to pay more than 25% IRR on this deal to our investors, and there's a reason for that. It's to save some people's lives. But listen, it's not going to go public. I'm telling you, it's not going to go public. Jump on the wait list so we can have the conversation.
Cool. So homeinvest.com/waitlist, or just write waitlist down in the comments and our team will get you over the link for it. Chris, anything you want to say to wrap up today?
No, I just want to, yes, I always say no and then I talk. Yes, I would love to say this. One thing that I know for a fact that since the time I've allowed God to direct my life has just gotten so much easier. Every time I try to direct my life, I run into walls. It's like pushing a rope. And I know one thing for a fact. God doesn't love me any more than he loves you, and he doesn't love you any more than he loves me. We're all his children. So the blessings that he's bestowed on me, on Nate, and our families, he can surely bestow on you. Remember that as you walk through the day. God bless y'all. Thank you for being here. See you next week.
Thanks, guys.